Wow, these pages from the Quran you shared are incredible. Like the
Ah.
floral patterns and geometric designs on the title pages are really, really stunning. And the
Hmm.
colors, like vibrant greens, pinks, whites, it's um it's like a work of art even before you even get to the words.
Yeah, they're captivating. These illuminated manuscripts are. Um, they're a testament to the deep connection between art and spirituality in Islamic tradition.
Yeah.
Going back centuries, imagine these designs as a way to enhance the sacred text,
Right.
drawing the reader's eye and mind into a state of reverence.
Mm-hmm.
And while they don't depict figures or scenes, which is interesting in its own right, they speak volumes about the beauty and order of the universe as perceived in Islam, a reflection of the Quran's emphasis on the oneness of God.
Okay, yeah. It's almost like these intricate patterns are a form of visual prayer in a way.
Hmm.
And speaking of reverence, I noticed that one of the pages is marked as an endowment from the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Abdullah. That's quite an honor, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
Historically, patronage from influential figures has played a critical role in preserving and disseminating religious texts.
Right.
And this holds true across various faiths. It speaks to the deep respect and value placed on these scriptures. What's also interesting here is that this particular edition is marked not for sale. It seems to be intended as a gift,
Oh, wow.
which aligns with the Quran's emphasis on charity and the
Yeah.
sharing of knowledge, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It seems like there's a beautiful connection between the visual presentation of the Quran and the values embedded within its text.
Hmm.
But I have to admit, as someone who doesn't read Arabic, the script itself,
Right.
while mesmerizing, feels a bit inaccessible.
I understand language can be a barrier, but remember, you have the English translation right beside the Arabic text.
Right.
A good way to approach it might be to read both aloud, side by side.
Right.
Even without understanding every Arabic word, you can still appreciate the musicality of the language, the rhythmic flow and poetic cadence.
Okay.
Trust me, there's a power in that alone.
Okay, so now let's dive into the content a bit. I'm drawn to this passage from Surah An-Nisa,
Okay.
verse 78.
Yeah.
It says, "Wherever you may be, death will overtake you, even if you are in fortified towers." There's just something about that image, death finding you no matter how safe and secure you think you are. It's chilling, yet also strangely captivating.
Yeah, it's a powerful verse, yeah.
Yeah.
And it really speaks to a core theme that resonates throughout the Quran, the omnipresence and absolute knowledge of God.
Yeah.
It's a stark reminder that no matter where we go or what we do, it's all witnessed, all accounted for. And it's interesting that you find it captivating
Yeah.
because this isn't just about our mortality, but also about the futility of putting our faith in worldly constructs.
Like those fortified towers, you're saying that there's a deeper meaning there.
Exactly. In the context of this surah, which deals with the hypocrisy, those towers can be seen as a metaphor for worldly possessions, social status, even the walls we build around our hearts. They might seem impenetrable, but they mean nothing to God. He sees through them, straight to the core of who we are, our intentions, and our actions.
That's a really thought-provoking interpretation. It's making me think about how often we might seek security in external things when true peace comes from something much deeper.
I think that's a very astute observation,
Yeah.
and it speaks to the Quran's ability to resonate across time and cultures. This isn't just an ancient text. These are words that still hold relevance today.
Absolutely. And speaking of timeless themes, I'm noticing several that seem to be woven throughout the Quran: justice, mercy, submission to God, and of course the stories of the prophets. Can you talk a little bit more about how these concepts are presented in the text?
Of course. These themes are fundamental to Islamic belief and practice. Justice, for instance, is emphasized throughout the Quran, both in its legal and social teachings, a call for fairness, balance, and equity in all things. Mercy, too, is paramount, reflecting God's infinite compassion and forgiveness, a quality expected of humans as well.
Yeah, it strikes me that those two concepts, justice and mercy, are often seen as being in opposition to each other, but the Quran seems to present them as complementary forces.
That's a keen observation. They are indeed interwoven, two sides of the same coin. And then there's the concept of submission to God, often translated as Islam itself. It's not about blind obedience, but about recognizing a power greater than ourselves and aligning our lives with that divine will. And the stories of the prophets, like Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, who is also revered in Islam, serve as powerful reminders of what it means to live a life guided by faith and in service to God.
It's interesting you mentioned Jesus. I think there's a misconception that the Quran and the Bible are completely separate entities, but there's clearly a shared lineage there.
Absolutely. The Quran acknowledges the Torah and the Gospels as divinely revealed scriptures and recognizes Jesus as a prophet and messenger of God.
Yeah.
However, it presents a different perspective on his life and teachings, emphasizing his humanity and his role as a precursor to the final prophet, Muhammad.
It's fascinating to see how these different threads of faith intertwine. But for someone like me, coming to the Quran as a learner, someone who's always trying to expand my knowledge and find wisdom, can the Quran offer something for me, even if I don't identify as Muslim?
That's a wonderful question, and it gets to the heart of why studying religious texts, even those outside our own belief systems, can be so enriching. The Quran, while a sacred text for Muslims, offers profound insights into human nature, morality, and our relationship with the divine that transcend any one faith.
As we've been talking, I keep thinking about how this deep dive is about so much more than just words on a page.
Yeah.
It's about art, history, culture, and these universal human questions we're all grappling with.
You've hit the nail on the head. Exploring the Quran, even in this brief glimpse, opens up a whole world of interconnected themes. It's a reminder that spirituality is often deeply entwined with artistic expression, with social structures, and with our understanding of the world around us.
Yeah, it makes you realize how much we can learn from engaging with different perspectives, different ways of seeing the world.
Mm-hmm.
But as we wrap up, there's one question I keep coming back to. If someone wants to take this deeper dive to go beyond this initial exploration, what advice would you give them?
That's a great question to end on. I think the key is to approach the Quran, and any religious text for that matter, with an open mind and a spirit of genuine inquiry. Don't be afraid to ask questions, to seek out diverse interpretations, and to consider how its message might resonate in your own life. And remember, understanding a text like the Quran is a journey, not a destination. There's always something new to discover, something more to learn.
That's a beautiful thought to leave us with. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through the Quran. It's been an eye-opening experience, to say the least.
Thanks for having me.